It's been a hard campaign, you know. We're facing some really stiff opposition, you know. I believe it's the hardest championship in Europe, and with a really high standard of driving. And I think Linus and Double R have acquitted themselves really well, you know. New championship, new tyres, not an inexperienced driver, but an inexperienced driver to Formula 3. And, I hate to say it, but we're probably the second best team in the championship. You know, we're pushing to catch Motor Park. And actually, I enjoy that. You know, I enjoy the intensity of having to keep fighting all the time. You know, and I certainly appreciate Linus enjoys it as well. You know, he's digging in deep to keep pushing. You know, the Sato's leading the championship. I think he must have 140, 150 F3 races behind him. So he's drawing on his experience, and he's doing well with it. But we're catching up, and we're pushing on. You know, to come in and beat Carlin in this championship, and beat Fortec and the reigning champions RP, you know, we're doing a good job. Just we've got to keep working. The drivers got to keep working because they get better all the time. You know, and, understand the car a little bit more and adapt the car a little bit more for qualifying and for the race. And as we get more qualifying sessions underway, we are getting better at peaking the tyre and getting the tyre to last in the race. We never stop learning, and you know, last week we learned some good things on the car and what the drivers need to really maximise the car. And I think HWA also got a little bit more performance from the package. So, you know, for Silverstone in the oncoming races, we're confident. Well, I mean, last weekend, Linus's first overall podium in a really tough race. You know, on a day that, on the previous day, we didn't qualify as well as we had hoped, and then Linus and Jack getting involved in an incident together, you know, which is always a pain when it's teammates, but I don't think there's any massive blame or intent on either of their part. But to come back, have a really strong qualifying, and then you know, really good start, really good tough race. And it was a really tough race because Linus was the only one not on new tyres in that last race, I believe. And you know, he really dug in deep and didn't give up. You know, it was a really good solid race. Yeah, early races. You know, Paul Ricard. Paul Ricard, I'll be brutally honest with you, is one of my least favourite circuits in Europe. You know, I don't like it, and it's difficult to understand. And testing went okay, but we didn't really peak the tyre, and our race pace was fantastic, but we really, you know, didn't understand. We couldn't get the tyres switched on, which was something totally that we hadn't had in any of the testing. You know, and yeah, we had to keep pushing after that, just to, you know. But I actually believe that Paul Ricard was a freaky occurrence, you know, because our race pace on the last lap was 7/10 quicker than what we went in qualifying. So we didn't work the tyres hard enough, and probably didn't react quick enough to that situation, you know. So, but it's more knowledge gained, and you know, if we do go back, we'll be a different team at Paul Ricard. Oh, it's a Michelin, you know. Wow, it's a fantastic tyre. It really is everything a race tyre should be. It's got great grip. It peaks. Drivers have got to really concentrate to do their 2 laps, 2 or 3 laps depending on the circuit. But then the tyre is a really good race tyre. It's stable. It drops off. So there's a bit of tyre management, but it doesn't fall off a cliff like other brands, you know. And you know, it's a fantastic a tyre for driver confidence, you know. And you know, nobody speaks. I've never heard a driver say any bad words about the Michelin. It's just a wonderful tyre to be on, and the wet tyre is just something sensational. It's, you know, it defies physics how much grip it has. They're a premium brand, a premium tyre on a premium chassis, and it adds up to a really great package. I mean, you know, it's difficult to have highs because we're a race team. We live on highs and lows, so generally they just merge into one, you know. So don't get overly excited by the highs, and don't get too disappointed by the lows, because lows just mean we have to dig in and work a bit harder to get the results, and believe that good results are just around the corner. You know, and that's what keeps us going as a team. But you know, after Ricard, we reacted fairly quickly because Po was the next race. We did a test on a small circuit in France, Quarren-Tournois. Did some race starts, high downforce. You know, drivers enjoyed it immensely. It was a good outing for the team. A good intense circuit. You know, it's a 50-second lap, so I don't think we don't get out of fifth gear, and heavy brakes. It's a good, you know, there's no straights to relax, nowhere to hide. And we went to Po, both drivers first time on a street circuit, and we did okay. You know, we weren't superstars, but we were getting better. And you know, we want the drivers to push, and when you push at Po, you get accidents. You know, and it's all part of the learning curve. If we'd been to Po and neither driver hit the wall, we would have left feeling that we didn't push hard enough. So I never mind the drivers crashing at Po, because it's, you know, we are an education program for drivers. You know, this is where they are allowed to make mistakes, and you know, all the drivers after they've been to Po come back better drivers. So, you know, we're not restricted on testing. Or you know, there are a few restrictions, but nothing major. You know, and you know, race drivers, like any sports people in the world, get better when they do more of it. You know, Federer, you know, he played Wimbledon on the weekend, but I guarantee he's still knocking a tennis ball today. You know, and racing drivers just get better the more they do it. You know, so the championship encourages testing and miles behind the seat, and you know, because the drivers do testing, it becomes an incredibly competitive championship. You know, but all the drivers have got good seat time, and that's why it's a hard championship. And you know, I respect any drivers or teams in this championship because they're all pretty bloody good. You know. So. Hockenheim, Jack was a little bit quicker than Linus in Hockenheim. You know, it ebbs and flows. You know, Linus is better on some circuits. Jack's had a small advantage, and you know, did a bit more testing on other circuits. You know, and to have two strong teammates is good because there's no hiding place then. You know, if one's quicker, the other's got to lift the game a little bit. And but Hockenheim was okay. We had some decent results. You know, we're competitive most of the time. But you know, I fully accept that, you know, we have to lift our game to beat Motorpark.